In Orion Drift, defense and goalkeeping is by far the hardest role to play. Now I'm not going to pretend like I'm some pro at the game, in fact I'm pretty new, you can see me whiff a shot here, but through doing a few simple things, my defense and goalkeeping skills are often better than others, even though I myself am not. So here I thought I'd just give an easy guide on how to goalkeep and defend. This video will be more about defense than goalkeeping, and I'll explain later, but one of the best things I've started doing comes right after your team scores. So you stay in the goal here and just wait for the enemy team to begin their playing. Then, when they go past the boundary, you can quickly grab onto them and hit the ball out of their possession. In many cases, a simple slip up will literally let you score another goal immediately. So now guess what? You can just repeat the process again. None of the other team's players are expecting to lose possession that quickly, so they're all on offense, letting you get a clear shot at the goal. I don't really have the best clip to demonstrate this, but it's really important to try and smack the ball vertically when flying, rather than to the sides. Pretty much everybody holds the ball horizontally, so if you try and hit it out that way, it'll get blocked by their hands. If you are close to the ground, I recommend hitting it up, because nobody will really be in the air at that time, so there's less of a chance for the team to get it again. Now finally, if you use this method, you'll soon realize how much people hate it. Even your own teammates will sometimes call you out for doing this, but don't worry. Everybody's just jealous that you get to have the ball more than them. However, if that isn't convincing enough, I will list here the pros and cons of using this method. The biggest con is that people in the game will be mad at you. This is especially true in ranked matches because people want any excuse not to blame themselves, and will probably tell you it's against the rules. Don't give in though, because at least for now, this method is perfectly legal in competitive lobbies. In fact, this method actually helped me get out of bronze really easily. And now, here are all the pros. I won't go through all of them, but I think you get the idea. I promise that if you do this method right, you'll get better results. Unfortunately, this little trick is really the only major thing you can do alone on defense. Ideally, you communicate with another person to have one focus on contesting, which is just a fancy way of saying punching or blocking. This person will force the player to lose possession of the ball, whether it be through fumbling it, passing it towards another area, or in the case you see here, making a longer shot at the goal. This gives the second person, the goalkeeper, more time to react and clear the shot. And then hopefully, your team gets the ball. This sort of tag team defense is without a doubt the most simple and most effective means of defending, but as you can assume, it's nothing without a good goalkeeper. The reason this video doesn't talk about goalkeeping as much is because, in all honesty, a goalkeeper can't be expected to block a shot by themselves. In real soccer, a professional goalkeeper only blocks a penalty shot, which is basically a one-on-one, around 15% of the time. In Orion Drift, however, the shooter has the freedom to choose where they shoot from, where their shot goes, how fast they shoot, when they shoot, or even to not shoot the ball at all, and rather pass to a teammate or run the ball into the goal themselves, which is far more than a soccer penalty kick has to offer. Now the goalkeeper covers only around 10% of the goal, even less when you consider that their hitboxes are only in their head and hands, has to run wherever the high-speed shot may go from presumably 0 speed, and really do that in less than like half a second, or less when the shooter is even closer. I guess a little help comes from the fact that you can jump at the shooter and punch either them or the ball away, but at that point the shooter could basically toss it anywhere around you and still land it in the goal. All this to say, don't blame the goalie when the other team scores. Succeeding here is one of the hardest things someone could do in a game. Now, all this being said, it's not like there's nothing you can do about it. My ability to save shots has gotten much better after I made it my goal to get 30 on the goalie practice as a warm-up before playing actual games. Not only that, but doing so while actively smacking the balls out and away from the goal so that in a real game, the enemy team won't get a rebound so easily. If you're having trouble, I recommend starting off like this, trying to use as little movement as possible just to touch the ball and keep it out. Eventually, you'll learn to be ready for things like flying or corner shots and otherwise keep your movement to a minimum. Then, when you get 100%, practice swatting the balls away. This will help you be as ready as you can to block shots in real games. Alright, this is just my personal superstition and probably not true at all, but if you just need a little more incentive to practice, then this may help. I think that maybe the staff team likes to see lobbies being more out and about, rather than just in the arenas. In this clip, I'm using a machine along with 3 other people, and then a dev comes along.
This sounds like a pretty cool server. If people want to go to Spark Supplies, I may hook you up with something.
Everybody be quiet.
Everybody in the lobby hung out together for a while, and then we all got a free cosmetic. Personally, until they introduce a cool dessert cosmetic, I'm not really planning on wearing anything, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Anyway, that's really all I've learned about defense and goalkeeping. In summary, there's really only so much you can do by yourself, and having a teammate you can trust and cooperate with makes things 10 times easier. Otherwise, in the best cases, you'll just be getting by with lucky saves. But yeah, that's all. If you have any additional ideas, I would love to hear them in the comments. Thanks for watching.